Hello, how are we doing out there? So we're really excited to be here. Our panel is called Programs Teaching Everyone to Code. So we're just going to jump right in as people continue to sit. I'm not sure if you could hear us. There's a lot going on around. All right, so the first question actually goes to Maura. So you are Department Chair of Computer Networking and IT at CCSF. Tell me a little bit about why CS education is critical and what you all are doing in this space, especially as it relates to partnering with non-traditional avenues.
So thank you so much. I'm so happy to be part of this panel. You know, in my opinion, the most important job that a community college can do is to prepare and serve diverse students. Our typical student is in any of the groups that we associate with diversity: low income, re-entry older adults, veterans, ESL students, students with disabilities, San Francisco youth who come from public schools. So we take that role very seriously, and we really see public education as a way to address issues with social justice. At City College of San Francisco, you can earn degrees and certificates that result in transcriptable credit that is recognized both by local employers and also to transfer to universities, and these are credentials that are recognized around the world. So it's very exciting to be able to offer that to students through public education. In terms of how we do that in the classroom, our goal is to create learning environments that are very inclusive. We do a lot of hands-on learning with students where they're learning with up-to-date technology. They're learning curriculum that is created in partnership with industry. So, you know, our approach is really about creating learning environments that serve diversity. And we've been very excited to find partners through our work with San Francisco City and County, the Tacheff initiative, partners who are, in particular community-based organizations who are reaching out to the neighborhoods, who are finding students who would benefit from a bridge between the CBOs and community college. And these partnerships have been invaluable to us because it's a way to really make connections between a more established approach to education. You know, as the main training partner, we are much more established, but really see students who are coming in, finding college through all these different innovative ways. And that's just been really exciting for us to make these kinds of partnerships.
Great. Thank you, Maura. Michael. So this is Michael Elison. He is the Chief Operating Officer at CodePath, and CodePath is doing amazing things. So, Michael, tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Hey, everybody. I'm Michael, Chief Operating Officer from CodePath, and I've been in education technology for the past 10 years. CoPath started a couple years ago. We started providing free, high-quality, in-person technical education for professional engineers. And since that time, we've become more of a platform for scalably teaching in-person, project-based technical courses. We are teaching around 3,000 to 4,000 students every year at this point. That's more than doubling every year. And we're teaching across high schools, universities, and top technology companies here and also internationally. We're also Facebook and Airbnb's and a number of other companies' top technical training partner. As it concerns diversity and inclusion, we've started to do a lot of work in this area, but I'm really excited about two key areas in particular. One is that we now are running these sponsored free coding boot camps for Airbnb, Facebook, Netflix, and Uber. And these programs allow anybody to be able to take this course 8 weeks long, free of charge. And you're actually sitting in the classroom with existing engineers from those companies. And then if you end up completing the course, doing a good job, then your performance in that course is actually one of the criteria that's taken into account in their decision to give you an offer. You don't have to interview with those companies, but it's a path for people from non-traditional coding backgrounds to directly access these companies, regardless of wherever you came from prior to that. So that's one of the initiatives we're really excited about. The other initiative is that CoPath is now across more than 20 different universities. Our primary sponsor for that program is actually Facebook. And what we've done is we've taken the same courses that we're teaching at Facebook, we've put them on all these different universities. We've partnered with faculty, we've partnered with students. And if you take this one course, then that allows you to have a competitive edge in the hiring process for internships or even entry-level positions. So what that means is you could be going to any school, whether it's a top-ranked CS school like Purdue or University of Washington, which we're working with, or you could be attending a school like Howard or Morgan State or Mississippi State or University of Puerto Rico, which are some other schools that we're working with, and you'll be put on a level playing field with any student across the country that will allow you to have access to, say, a company like Facebook or any of the other top technology companies, taking the same curriculum that engineers are taking inside of these companies as well. So those are kind of the two of the really exciting things that I'm really passionate about, and some of the things that CoPath is doing. Yeah, I'd say that's a good initial first step.
Nice. So when they initially asked me to moderate for programs teaching everyone to code, I was genuinely excited. We talk about inclusion, and that it really also comes down to every one of us right up here are representing a different vantage point in that. So a lot of people are told that they're not relevant or they don't belong in this space, and there's already enough obstacles that are there, right, to navigate anyway without that. So I'm really excited with that in mind to ask Tina Lee, the CEO of MotherCoders. I actually attended an event of hers about 2 years ago as a single mother with my daughter. So I'd love to know a little bit more about, why is this important for mothers to be in this space, and can you speak a little bit about that too?
Yeah, thanks for having me. So I want to enlist everyone's help because this conversation, until recently, didn't even consider parents. So I really need your help in expanding this space so that people who become caregivers, right, parents, men and women, and also people who end up caring for their elderly parents or family members, have a stake and a place in this conversation too. So the reason why I started MotherCoders is because of all the reasons that we know for why inclusion is important, right? Economically, people need economic opportunity, right? And then from a company perspective, having diversity leads to bigger bottom line, more innovation, all of that. So imagine being a parent, specifically a mother, and you can't access any of the programs that are out there because you have childcare responsibilities. Schools let out at 3, childcare or after school programs close at 5 or 6, and then at night you're supposed to help your kids with homework, bathe them, feed them, story time, all of that, right? Care for your kids. When would you have time to skill up? So what happens is you have a lot of women who are educated, who have work experience, but may have stepped out of the workforce for a little bit to care for their young children, or they're stuck in a job where they're not learning. And they want to get in. They're sitting on the sidelines saying, how can I engage? I want to make tech. I have an idea. I want to contribute. I want to make sure that I'm able to take care of my family. So we started MotherCoders as a way to get these women off the sidelines, introduce them to coding, even if they don't end up being web developers or software engineers, because we think having that literacy is really important, and it opens up a world of opportunity for these women.
Nice. And actually with that, with Women Who Code, part of not just onboarding women, but helping them to stay there. So we know that, 57% of women in that mid-career role actually drop out or leave, oftentimes because of motherhood. And, with companies, you can have all the beautiful rhetoric and policy in the world, but if you don't have actual role modeling, speaking to that, somebody that looks like you and can actually represent you, it's very hard for you to see yourself there. And there's company culture and all these other pieces there. So thank you. Which actually leads me to my next question. Hadiyah. So Hadiyah is amazing. She's founder of Historically Black Colleges and Universities. What's that?
HBCU to Startup.
HBCU Startup. Historically Black Colleges and Universities Startup. Did I say that right?
Yeah, so HBCUs is an acronym that stands for Historically Black Colleges and University, which is a category of institutions throughout the U.S. And my platform is HBCU to Startup, which help connects students who are at HBCUs to tech companies.
She said that so much more articulately than the marbles in my mouth that came out. So in addition to that, she also leads development boot camps and is really helping to shape this industry. So Hadiyah, tell me a little bit more about your work and why it's so important.
So I wear multiple hats. Previously, I've taught at Hackbright Academy, which is a software engineering school for women. And within the past year, I've launched HBCU to Startup. And through my work with Hackbright Academy and HBCU to Startup, I was invited to kick off a coding boot camp at Delaware State University, which is a historically black college. And so this is the first of its kind. This is the first boot camp that's been hosted at a HBCU. And the reason why that's extremely important is a lot of boot camps are doing a lot of great work, but there's still a hurdle for many people to take 3 months off and to join a boot camp, and it's still at a price tag that many can't afford. So over the summer, with the help of a grant, Del State University launched a mini boot camp to introduce some of their students to coding. It was a 6-week full-time program for under $500, and it provided room, board, as well as a laptop. So this was, this program was extremely accessible to the students who were living in Kent County, Delaware.
Thank you. All right. So Ryan is the CEO at Treehouse. Ryan, I want you to tell me a little bit about Treehouse, but also could you tell me, this is programs teaching everyone to code. Why should everyone be represented in this space?
Hey, everybody. So I just want to see if you're alive out there. Can you hear me? Raise your hands. Look at you are alive. Way to go. So can I ask a question first? Okay. So how many of you know how to code? Raise your hand high. Okay. Who would like to learn how to code but doesn't know how to? Couple of you. Who never wants to code ever? Couple of you. All right, at least you're honest. All right, thanks. Okay. Interesting. All right. So I'm the founder of Treehouse. We are an online school. And so I started Treehouse because I got a computer science degree, and then I went out and I got a job, and I was like, wait, everything that just cost my family $50,000, like none of that is what I do in my job. So what was that about? And number two, how can anybody afford that? And so the idea was, let's start a school that's online. And I love what Tina and Hadiyah said, because parents can't go back to college. They can't go to boot camps. They've got kids, right? So how do you learn this stuff if you're at home taking care of people? Or what if you have a job and you can't go somewhere? And what if you don't want to go study computer science because no one looks like you? And so starting an online school was key for me, a place that you could learn, while your kids were asleep or while you're taking your lunch break. And so we created Treehouse. We have 75,000 students, and we teach people how to code. But what we've done is we realized people need more support than just watching videos. You can do that, but the reality is you need to be required to do projects, and those projects need to be graded, and you need support from peers. And how do you do all that online? So we built something called the tech degree. The tech degree, the idea is that it's essentially a trade degree. It takes about a year. It costs about $2,400, and you just do it every month. So far that's working. We're seeing a lot of people get jobs. A lot of people that aren't white males are doing it, and I'm proud of that. And I think something like this is the future of education. Something that's accessible, something that's affordable, something that's on demand. And I think we've started to figure that out, and I just love what we do, and I love hearing our students' success stories, so it's kind of what I'm thinking about.
Be in the space.
Why should everybody learn how to code? I think we all believe this, that basically technology is just eating the world, right? Everything that we touch now has code in it. Everything that we will touch in the future will have code in it. And so the reality is understanding code gives you power. It gives you power to build things. It gives you power to understand. It gives you power over your life. It gives you control. And I just talked to one of our students and I said, why do you take our courses? And he's like, well, I want to learn how to make apps. And I'm like, well, why? Why do you want to learn how to make apps? And he said, well, because everything is apps now. And I was like, no, that's not why. Why do you want to learn how to make apps? And he said, let me think about it. And he got real quiet for a minute. And he said, he just thought real deep and he said, I want independence. I want to be independent. I want to be able to build something, and I want to be able to get it out there, and I want to be able to make a living on my terms. And I just thought that was so powerful. So we're giving people independence. And I think that's why you need to learn how to code. A lot of our students don't become developers, so it's not like you have to learn how to code and code for a living. But I think it gives you the ability to speak the language and to not feel like the world is scary and technical and you don't get it. Some of our students, I talked to a student who is a woman who's 53, and she's learning how to code because she wants to make sure that she continues to use her mind and that she understands what's happening. And it's a powerful thing to learn how to code. So.
I'm so happy to be on this panel, and I love hearing from all the different providers because there are so many different approaches to this, but I do want to clear up a misconception about colleges, that they are expensive and they're not serving the needs of students. So at City College of San Francisco, you can earn an extremely low-cost associate's degree in web development that's entirely online. So if you're a working adult, you can come and earn a degree with us. It's $50 a unit, and we're placing students in places like Salesforce and Mozilla. We have industry partners at Visa and different tech companies across the region. So it is something that we hear more and more about how colleges and CS programs aren't serving students. And I just want you to not consider them all with the same brush because we really are trying to serve the people of San Francisco, and we really are trying to serve our diverse students. So just to make that point, because they're not all created equal, and it really depends who the leadership is at a college and what their priorities are.
Thank you. And I would also say, kind of getting back to this, why everyone should be represented. It used to be that tech lived over here, and then all other industries used to be over here. And now we know that everything is tech, right? It's all integrated, and we all need to be a part of shaping the technology that we use. It's not just for certain groups. So that's also a part of the mix. And so to all of you, I'm going to put this out there. Who's doing this work right? What program successes have you seen? And maybe what challenges have you seen, both in terms of leading programs and for students kind of navigating this in both traditional and non-traditional paths? Anyone? Michael?
Okay. Do you want the perspective of like which companies? Or which? So, who's doing this work right? teaching people how to code, getting people who are not connected more connected. So I'll say a couple things. One is I think that online education programs, whether MOOCs or whatnot, do a really great job of inspiring and providing access to a very broad sector of the population that otherwise would not have access whatsoever. I think that's an important starting point. But when you're looking at universities and you're looking at what companies are also looking for, I think that there are some, actually to build on her point, there are some universities that are doing a good job of trying to bridge the gap between traditional computer science programs and then also industry expectations. And from our vantage point, as we're talking and working inside of a lot of different technology companies, like if you go to Facebook, you go to Airbnb, you're taking a CoPath onboarding program. There's a lot of complaints about this technical gap. There are some schools that are adjusting and trying to improve curriculum. It's happening slowly, and then I would say that there's also, I think that the industry is, I think, slowly catching on to figuring out how to integrate into various types of nonprofits or boot camp programs. And I don't want to pick winners or anything. I actually would say I don't think there are any clear winners yet because the tech companies have not significantly changed their diversity numbers. So I can't say that there's any winners, or I can't say that there's any programs that are doing exceptionally well. I can say that I think that there's a lot of interest with companies ranging from Airbnb to Facebook to others who are trying to start to explore various programs that are more rotational programs, like what Facebook recently announced, or Airbnb Connect, where they're trying to provide opportunities from people from non-traditional coding backgrounds. And then as far as boot camps are concerned as well, I think that they have been making some inroads with various technology companies, but there's a long way to go. So I'm not going to pick any winners, but yeah.
Yeah, Hadiyah?
As far as who's doing right, it's a very difficult question because there are a lot of programs, and it really depends on the student and their needs, how they learn, what they have access towards. I think what is really important is that through the changing of the model that code and boot camps have done and online schools such as Treehouse has done, is that now it's been exposed to a wider audience. In addition to that, we're seeing improvements across the board. So colleges and universities are now learning from a new model. In addition, what happened earlier this year is that legislation was changed where there were 8 boot camps who received approval so that students can now apply for financial aid to some of those schools. So I think allowing accessibility is the key importance here.
So I lately have been really, really excited about all the companies that have created returnships for people who have stepped out and want to come back. I'm excited about that because it's an acknowledgement that this is something that happens, right? People take time off to care for their families, and women in particular take time off to care for their families. And the fact that they are inviting these women to come back and saying, we have a place for you. It doesn't even have to be full-time right away, right? That they're willing to train and take a chance on you and acknowledge that you have skills that are valuable and contribute. I think that's been very exciting. And it's been the bigger companies that have the resources to do this, right? Like the IBMs and the PayPals of the world. But what I'm hoping is that, by them leading the way, more companies will be able to do this so that as moms gain skills, there's a way to actually get back into the workforce.
That's great. I mean, I would also say, when we talk about returnships, or even just this idea that there's not enough talent to fulfill the jobs, right? The talent is there. It is untapped in a variety of pools, and we need to challenge recruiting companies and companies in general to think outside the box, and that's why this group up here is so exciting. So, Maura, you seem like you wanted to, yeah?
No, I was just going to say, everyone who has a job has an opportunity to be a mentor. And I wouldn't be in my job if I hadn't been mentored by another female faculty member. Everyone has an opportunity to make a difference, to invite somebody to visit them on the job, to introduce them within their network. So yes, we do rely on industry partners, but everyone in this audience, everyone in this hall can be a partner. And using your status as an employee at a company you don't understand the power that has to make a difference for somebody who's trying to break in this field and at least understand what it takes to be successful. There's so many jobs, there's so much money, it's such a exciting time to be trying to get into this field. And, everyone has the power to do that. And that's how I got to where I am. And I like to share that practice because it really makes a huge difference.
So we have about 15 minutes. Does anybody have any questions? I mean, we could keep asking. Yes. We're making the event manager crazy right now because we're just totally riffing and opening this up, but I feel like it's a good move.
What? Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me? Okay. This question is specifically about moms. Do you think that what specific things can companies do besides returnships to make companies more inclusive of those who have taken time off to care for family members or to have children, especially with like an aging population?
Can you repeat the beginning again?
Oh, go ahead. So the question was, what can companies do to be more inclusive for people for mothers who are returning? And at Treehouse, we do one really simple thing, which I think helps a lot. We basically allow our employees to work from wherever they want, whenever they want. And so 63% of our employees work from home, and a lot of them are mothers. And the idea is like, hey, you got to go pick up your kid at 2:50. Like, you can't leave work and then come back, so you just go pick up your kids. And so I think that simple freedom helps mothers and parents a lot. Like, I use it all the time. Like, if my son is sick, I'll work at home that day. If I've got to pick him up or take him to the doctor. And it's easy to do. Almost any company can do this. Just relax and let people work from wherever they want to work. It's cool.
And really quick, I would also say just for Women Who Code, we recently launched a job board, and because this, we have all of these women that are wanting to onboard in this space, and then we also have all these companies that are wanting to get in front of these women, these talented women. And this, I would say, I think it's somewhere upwards of any job post that says flexibility or working from home receives like 70% more applicants. I mean, it's so very important. So I wanted to echo that.
So there's a whole body of, tips and principles and things you could do. So I'm just going to kind of get real for a second here, right? Just like how a lot of the problems in diversity inclusion is rooted in inequality, right? The isms, sexism, ableism, racism, right? This whole problem with moms is rooted in that as well. So when you become a mother, for some reason, suddenly you're less committed to you're perceived as being less committed to your career, you're irrelevant, you're dumber, so they'll pay you less. And each kid that you have gives you an additional penalty. It's called the motherhood penalty. The opposite is happening to dads, right? Once they become fathers, they're like, yeah, now you're smarter, you're more committed, and we deserve more. So that's inequality built in. So there's this implicit bias built into our system, right? The ideal worker is usually a male breadwinner who doesn't have to worry about the family because there's a female homemaker, usually a female, taking care of all the things. So in reality today, right, you have over 50% of kids that are under 17 living in families where both parents have to work full-time to keep afloat. So it doesn't match up to what the myth is around what society should look like, and we should stop letting schools out at 2:30. Right? We should stop doing this whole summer off thing. We should stop expecting people to work 45 hours, log back in, and commute 2 hours a day, right? It just does not acknowledge reality. So affordable childcare. Childcare costs more than college in many states, more than rent, right? So as much as we can start attacking the implicit bias that exists, then, these policies will naturally get experimented on and implemented.
That's amazing. Anyone else? Questions? Ideas? Aspirations? Is anyone out? Oh, here we go. Yes?
So I'm the one who is never going to learn how to code because I believe that there are enough people in this room that will code for me. So where do I find the coders that come out of your programs? Do I just go to your websites and find them there, or how do I dig them up?
So what we try to do is we try to build relationships with employers directly for our students, because it's hard to throw students out to the wolves and just say, go find a job and figure it out. So we tend to build employer relationships. We don't have a directly, here's a job board of our students. We may do that at some point, but right now we just work directly with employers.
So I think the question was, how do you find our graduates? I think? Okay. So let's see. A couple things to remind. CoPath, our programs are free. They're also very challenging to get into. And then I think a lot of companies in the industry recognize it as a kind of a seal of approval. For example, more than 30% of Airbnb's Android team are CoPath alumni. And we'll run these programs that are sponsored by companies, which allows students to opt into connecting with them. We don't take any recruiting fees for the students in the program. So even if a company is sponsoring a course, we don't try to force that student to work for that company. That's not how our business model works. And if you are interested in connecting with CoPath alumni, then we have a semi-secret kind of internal posting board that we just will share opportunities with top students that they can take a look at. But we don't have a financial incentive. We just post it. We vet it to make sure that it's something that would be appealing and helpful to the community. And the way you get access to that is probably emailing somebody at CoPath. If you could find one of those individuals. Also, there's a lot of our alumni that on their LinkedIn, they'll just list that they're a CoPath alumni as well. So we have kind of an informal channel and a semi-more formal channel, but we are not a recruiting type of organization where we care about high-quality technical education. We care about people becoming great engineers.
Yes, so it sounds like mini ecosystems and each kind of, in all of our different organizations. And then also you tapped on something having to do with just authentic partnerships. Engineers get hit up a lot. And if you're talented, you're going to be completely attacked on some level in a good way. And so, you just being authentic and having some of those informal partnerships in terms of funnels is how you also work with it. So any other questions? Oh, sorry.
I actually want to call out two MotherCoders here who are in the audience. Can you please stand up, Rebecca and Simone? So if you want to hire a coder, talk to her. If you want to fund someone with an idea, talk to her.
Okay, sorry, I thought you meant. Okay.
No more questions? Oh, don't be shy. Are you sure?
Wait, so we have more. Wait, Maura, go ahead.
So if you are even interested in what it means to be a teacher at a community college and would like to talk to me about possible teaching opportunities, please let me know. We do a lot of internal mentoring and growing of our own instructors because it's super important that we have a diverse faculty. Right now we have half male, half female instructors. We really try to find instructors who reflect our student population. So come see me if you have any questions about that. Also, Teresa Rowland, who is an administrator at City College and very interested in sharing what opportunities are there. We'd love to talk to anyone who's interested in that.
That's great. So everyone's Twitter handle is actually up on the monitors. Additionally, I would put out there, so how can everyone contact you all? And how can they get more involved with your respective organizations if they're interested? Michael?
So you can contact me by emailing me at michael@codepath.com. I'm pretty accessible, like via web or, well, LinkedIn messages, I probably am not very accessible, but Michael@CoPath is probably the best way, or you can tweet at me at Michael W. Elison for Twitter. And then as far as ways to get involved, so, CoPath is doing a lot of things inside of different companies, as I mentioned, high school, universities, and also internationally. And primarily, we look for people who are going to be helpful from you're passionate about technology. Maybe you run a nonprofit, or you run organizations that are community-based, like MotherCoders or Women Who Code. We give a lot of our resources available for free, access to our platform. We care about educators doing a better job of delivering high-quality technical content. We'll give you a free learning platform, content curriculum that is being used by top technology companies. We're interested in developing those partnerships. If you are a company that would be interested in working with us on some level, then we'd also like to connect. And then if you're just really passionate about high quality free education, then we're always looking for volunteers.
And reach out to him because he is hyper connected, incredibly humble. He is so talented, and y'all should definitely reach out to Michael because he's a founding Women Who Code board member, and I work with him often.
We have an industry advisory board, so if anyone's interested in helping us by serving on that, giving input into aligning programs with industry need, but we can accommodate, as little as 2 hours of volunteer time, 1 hour of volunteer time, come speak at a class, mentor student. We'll take any level of interest that anyone might be interested.
So the best way to contact me is through email, which is my first name at hbcutostartup.com. Twitter also works as well. Currently, we are seeking partnerships with companies who are hiring interns. So if your company is interested in connecting with students from historically black colleges and you have internships available, please contact me. Right now, we're creating a new initiative called micro internships. The micro internships are strictly project-based and can be, they're pretty flexible and can be done remotely. So if you're interested, please talk to me. I'm Tina at MotherCoders. You want to email me or hit me up on Twitter. In terms of how you can help us, if you yourself are a mom and would like to get more technical, please take our class. Or if you know someone, tell them about us. If you yourself are a technical person, please volunteer with us. Offer to host us at your office. We always have a field trip so that the moms can get a sense of what it feels like and looks like to work in an actual tech company. And then lastly, we're a nonprofit, decidedly, right? The moms that take our classes cannot afford a lot of the boot camps that are out there. And on top of that, they have to pay for childcare. So as much as you can, make a contribution. And if you work for a company that matches that, even better.
Nice. So Women Who Code. We offer about 1,500 free events per year, 4 events per week in San Francisco. There's about 10,000 members, and it's a very welcoming community. You don't have to know how to code. It's very project-based and informal, and many of our conferences also have on-site childcare, and we are also a nonprofit, and we'd love to have you.
So I'm just Ryan at teamtreehouse.com or at Ryan Carson. But the thing I really want, my students would be super happy if you all cheered and I took a video of you and put it on Instagram. So if you would cheer for me, I'm going to put you on Instagram. And on your marks, get set, go. Come on. Woo! Yay, that makes my day. Thanks.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you so much. And if you have any questions, we are here.
And for sure, I'll try to partner with all these amazing organizations because for sure we have many women that would love to get access to your coders and get visibility to everything that you're doing. Let's give a big applause to Jennifer, Tina, Hadiyah, Maura, Ryan, and Michael. Thank you so much.